The Chiefs are starting DJ Humphries versus the Chargers, and we're going to talk about it. Good morning, Chiefs Kingdom.
Good
ACU
morning.
crew. How we doing, baby? Good to see everybody in here. Do us a favor, hit that like button for us real quick. Help this get out to more people. Mike, the Chiefs have some exciting news for everyone. Everyone's been horned up about this one.
Yeah, this is the one everybody's been waiting for a little bit, Steve. You called it. You said he'll be ready by the Chargers game. We'll see it. Chiefs Blitz says that Nate Taylor on KC Sports Network last night said all systems go Sunday night, kids. DJ Humphries will play left tackle against Los Angeles Chargers, barring something unforeseen. Let's hope nothing unforeseen happens, Steve, because I'd like
Right.
I would like to see DJ Humphries play on the left side a little bit, if not for just the fact that we are getting ready to hit a hellish defensive end slate throughout the end of the year. You're getting ready to go up against TJ Watt. You're getting ready to go up against Myles Garrett. You're going up against Denver's defense. You're going to see Nick Bonito again, and he absolutely destroyed Wanya and Kingsley. It doesn't get easy this week. It's not like this week's easy. You got, Bosa, and you have Khalil Mack. So are you ready to see DJ Humphries, man? I'm ready to see what can happen here.
I think everybody's ready for it. I mean, this has been the big talking point for Chiefs Kingdom since the beginning of the season. Really, it's just the left tackle position is not up to par. We know Kingsley's not got to where he needs to be. He's just not ready to go. And then you have Wanya Morris, who we thought might be okay, and there for a game or two, we're like, maybe this will work. And then all of a sudden, he stinks. I don't know what happened there, but we don't care. We're ready to see a guy that can come in and protect Patrick Mahomes' blind side, give him a little bit of comfort, and hopefully that takes care of the things that have been troubling Patrick Mahomes this season to where he's not really playing like himself. Maybe he can get his feet under him, get his mechanics back, just be a little more calm and
Right.
make good choices.
Seen a few clips of him from Thursday's practice, Steve, but you also seen in that clip, you seen a little a knee brace on one Jawan Taylor, and we've got the injury report that come out yesterday. They'll put out a final injury report today, but this one has Noah Gray. He was a full participant in practice. Omeni, was back. He was full participant all week. Relatively a small list here. I know we've got 55 players on the IR, it seems, but this is a very small list, even in comparison to the Chargers. But what you'll see down there is Jawan Taylor, our third player, with a knee injury. He was a full participant on Wednesday and only limited on Thursday. So he was actually downgraded for yesterday's practice. So we'll have to see what he does today in practice, Steve. Is he going to be limited? Is it going to downgrade again? Can he get back to full? I personally don't think Jawan Taylor's going to miss the week of practice. I don't think or not the week of practice, but the game, actually.
Right.
I think he'll play.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it suck if you finally get DJ Humphries back on the left side and then Jawan Taylor's injured and you can't see that either? And it's like, you see people be coming up with conspiracies that Andy's trying to hold him off to avoid film on both of them at the same time.
Right, man, I don't know. That would be our luck, right? But hopefully that's not what it's going to take. Hopefully it'll be Jawan Taylor out there. We won't be seeing Wanya swap over. I think we've seen enough Wanya Morris. I would much rather see Kingsley or Ethan Driscoll or someone like that at the right tackle if Jawan Taylor can't go. I think Wanya showed us enough so far.
I was hearing, I don't remember where I heard it. I was telling you this earlier. They said Ethan Driscoll would get the start if Jawan Taylor couldn't at the right side, which is odd to me. You drafted a guy in the second round that probably his natural position is the right tackle. Maybe see if he can play right tackle. And then if that's your case, then you may be able to say goodbye to Jawan here in the next year or so, whenever that contract comes up. You may have found Kingsley on the right side, and now you can just focus on the left side. Maybe you get DJ Humphries back for a few more years if he looks good the rest of the season, or you draft another one, or you do both. God forbid we have some left tackles in the tank here for the next 10 years.
That are not named Lucas Nyang.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic. Hey, Mike, Pop's in the house with the 10 bomb. Says time to shift
Let's
gears
go.
on this team, give them a glimpse of what's coming. Do you think that's what's going to happen? Do you think DJ Humphries gets out there and he's excelling, he's playing well, and Patrick Mahomes gets comfortable, and all of a sudden this offense is just firing.
It could. It could. Did you hear Patrick, though, in his presser? I want to say yesterday or the day before. Patrick had a presser, and they asked him, hey, is the left tackle play causing you any problems in the pocket? Are you getting danced? Are you doing this? And what did he say? Nope. He trusts everybody. He trusts them all. It's not hindered his play at all, Steve. That's what he said. It's not
He's the PR king. Everyone knows that.
Right. So it's not hindered him. You got to take him at face value. It's not hindered him at all. He trusts every single person. You could put Mario and Luigi over there at left tackle.
Right.
And the cat says, I'm going to throw for 300.
Yeah. You know he's always going to do that. You hear that, though?
Yeah, I hear it.
Got a membership train in the house.
Let's go.
Rolling down the tracks. Pop supporting his boys this morning with 5 gifted memberships and a 10 bomb.
Let's go.
I like
Pop
it
giving
when
out
Pops
those
isn't at work.
memberships.
Pops is just at home bored, and he's like, you know what?
Hey, if you get a membership from Pops, be sure and give him an old salute in the chat there. Pop's doing the Lord's work this morning on this fine Friday morning. Steve, Friday morning, man. This means the week's done. The week's done. Once you guys kind of like half-ass it all morning through work and get out of there, you're done for the weekend. If you work on the weekends, I'm sorry. But hey, to cap off your weekend, you get Chiefs Chargers on Sunday Night Football. Steve, we're going to get predictions. We're going to give all sorts of things today, I believe. This is going to be the prediction show. This is going to be, we're going to give away who we think our MVPs are going to be. That's going to be fun. Have you thought about this Chargers game much this week?
A little bit. I think the Chargers are an improved team from what they were the first time around. So I think it's going to be a little bit different. And by all metrics, it wasn't an easy game the first time. So I think we'll see how it goes. But they seem to be clicking a lot better than they were. It really, to me, I think the thing that everybody's eyes are going to be on is what we were talking about today, and that's DJ Humphries. If he's out on the field and he's starting, that's what everybody's most excited about. That's what they want to see. And then if they were to be able to just start firing on offense and Patrick Mahomes looks a little more comfortable and DJ Humphries effective, I think the horn level of Chiefs Kingdom is going to hit new highs this season.
What's the one thing that you think DJ Humphries is going to bring to Mahomes? If Mahomes is able to settle into the pocket, and I don't think it's going to happen immediately. I don't think he's just going to come out on play number 1, play number 2, play number 3, and just feel 100% comfortable. Then again, he could. Maybe he gives them the benefit of the doubt, and he comes out playing super comfortable, and then if DJ Humphries messes up a few times, then he starts getting the happy feet. Excuse me. But I'll say this, if he doesn't, and he comes out and he plays more comfortable, who benefits on the team? What playmaker benefits from Mahomes doing that the most? Because I know everybody should benefit, but who's the one guy that would benefit the most from Patrick Mahomes getting his mechanics back to normal and getting the ball out?
DeAndre Hopkins.
Ooh, that was different where I was going. Okay, give me some reasoning.
Were you gonna say Xavier Worthy?
I was, because I feel like Xavier Worthy in an alternate universe, I've said this 5 times, in an alternate timeline, if the Flash hadn't come back and made the timeline shift, I feel like he's got 1,000 yards this year already.
I agree with you, and that was the first thought in my head, but when I thought about it a little bit longer than just those first few seconds, it shifted over to DeAndre Hopkins, and the reason being is this is a guy that literally wins his routes. He wins man routes. He will catch anything you throw to him. I think if Patrick Mahomes gets more comfortable, he will give more targets to DeAndre Hopkins. And also what comes along with that is them actually giving him more snaps. We're not sure why they've been limiting his snaps to just 25, 26 a game the last few weeks. There are speculations it has something to do with the trade clause or something like that, which I find silly. It could also be nursing a knee injury. It could be they're saving him for the end of the season to make sure he's healthy for the playoff run. There's lots of different reasons. But I think that if he gets more comfortable there and the run game is effective, if Patrick Mahomes starts taking his time and really looking, DeAndre Hopkins could be an absolute monster on this offense. I think we're talking about a guy that 1,000 yards a year, 1,000 yards a year, 1,200 yards, 1,300 yards. With the freaking Texans when they sucked. And, like with the Arizona Cardinals
but you're
with
not
Kyler
getting
Murray.
Prime. You're not getting prime DeAndre Hopkins, though.
I don't think he's really like that far off from prime DeAndre Hopkins.
He says that, and he looks at it at times, but still, you know how it is. You do.
There's been a bit of a decline,
yeah.
obviously, but I don't think it's anything major. I don't think he's at the like it's not normally you have somebody on the very back end of their career and it feels like they're playing a year or two too
Right.
long.
Like, I'm not trying to say DeAndre
I don't
Hopkins is
think
washed by
that's
any
it at
means.
all.
Like, he was I think it was a good signing, and they should have done all they could to have signed him a year or two ago when we were going through all that. We were begging for DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, and to my point and to your point, I think it's kind of a chain reaction. I think if Mahomes gets more comfortable and D-Hop starts getting more targets and his game's getting elevated and he's killing teams, Xavier Worthy's going to benefit from that. So, I mean, and then Kelsey even, I think that's the main thing to me. I feel like this offense, run game Andy's got to quit abandoning the run game. They've got to establish it, and they have to be good at it, right? 100%.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I think the next thing is focus on your go-tos, which is Travis Kelce and DeAndre. You throw to those two, you pepper them, they're going to catch the ball, they're going to make things happen, and then all of a sudden, that opens up the floodgates for the other guys.
Yeah. I agree. Appreciate all you guys being here this morning. Appreciate it. Good morning, Chiefs Kingdom. That's what I got to say to you.
Good morning.
I appreciate you. I know it's right here before the lunch hour. Well, I think it's only 10. It's only 10 there in the central part of the United States. So you guys got about 2 hours before lunch. It's okay. We're going to help you get through a little bit of it.
Maybe somebody's taking lunch at 11 a.m., man.
Yeah, maybe you are. Maybe you got that early little lunch. Steve, it's funny because in where we are in Louisville, over here near Louisville, on the East Coast, well, especially in our city, every job around here, like if it's an early morning job, like this is a lot of, we don't manufacture things. Louisville is not manufacturing. Louisville is a pick and pack center place.
They do
like
have,
it's warehouses
they do have
of stuff.
Ford, though.
So like Amazon, well, that might be the only one, but like they have Amazon hubs and things where like people are just walking 24/7, just packing up people's orders. That's what they do. And in Louisville, I've noticed this. They make people go to work at like 4 a.m. and they'll let you off at like 1 p.m. or 2
Any kind
2
of
p.m.
factory or any kind of
It's
warehouse
wild.
job always does that to
It's
people.
not that 9 to 5 stuff.
I don't understand it.
That 9 to 5's for the guys that sit at the computer desk in the nice office wearing the tie to work every day, I think.
Or the beautiful tiger hoodie that Julia Gulia hates.
There you go.
Greg Goodwin with the 5-bomb, baby. He says the
Greg,
Ubernator's vehicle is a total loss.
Oh, no.
New car. Well, that's the thing, Greg. Is this a good thing? Did you have insurance? Is it getting? Are you getting a new ride and you're
Right, it
happy
could
about
be.
it? Like, is there some light at the end of the tunnel?
How does that work? Do you have to pay deductibles on that stuff? Or is that only like with medical stuff?
Oh, you absolutely do. Sometimes.
I've never had to.
It depends on.
Knock
it
on
depends
wood.
on the
Never had
policy.
to go through the whole totaled car thing.
Depends on the policy.
Man,
but
no matter what, it's a disruption to your life, and it kind
it
of
is.
sucks.
But I hope there's some silver lining there, Greg. Hopefully everything.
Yeah,
will work
Greg.
out
Good to
for
hear
you.
you're good, my boy. Thanks for the 5-bomb.
Yeah, and then KC Lion Squad with a 2 says D-Hop had over 1,000 yards last year. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
Can't forget that. And he was with freaking
He was
Will
with a crappy
Levis, bro.
dude. We wanted D-Hop. We thought everything. Look, everything that came with D-Hop so far, we've seen, and that they've even praised. They even said, "Man, he's been a nice mentor in the film room." Yeah, we know. We were saying that. If anybody knows we said that, it's Chief Kelsey. He loves our D-Hop videos. Okay, but yeah, we were saying that all the time. Like D-Hop, get him in here for experience, for everything. He helps Mahomes. He gives Mahomes that big X wide receiver. You know, they couldn't make it happen. D-Hop said he wanted to win, but it felt like to me he sold out for the money yet again. Sometimes it's just hard for them to get over that money issue.
But now that he's here, like, is it just me, Mike, or you guys can let me know in the chat too what you think? But does it seem like you just see a different level of receiver on the field right now, even though he's not being utilized like 100% and he's not really gone crazy or anything? Just his presence on the field, the way he runs routes, the way he catches the ball, the way he carries himself, does it not seem like a different total tier of receiver that we've seen in Kansas City in years?
Yeah, we've not had that. I mean, our last big wide receiver was, Tyreek Hill. We all know that.
And it's different. You're
Yeah,
right.
it's way different. They're a different style. Tyreek is a little bit of he wants the limelight, and it seems like D-Hop kind of at this point in his career wants to not be in the limelight. Like he's been very, very just hush, goes about his job, and you don't hear anything from him. I don't really remember D-Hop ever having those kinds of issues, though. D-Hop's always kind of been like the guy that just handles his business and goes on.
Well,
a
he
lot of
handles
people
it
were saying he
on
was a
the
diva
field.
the whole time. Remember, that was a big thing. They were like, man, D-Hop's a diva. Don't get him, blah, blah, blah.
I've never thought that. And one thing that comes to mind when people talk about that is there was a video a couple of years back where he was they were having a shared practice with another team, and I can't remember who it was, but one of the cornerbacks kept fighting with him and talking trash and tried to fight with him and everything. And D-Hop, it was a video where he just kept saying, I fear God, boy, go away. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And then what did he
practice.
do?
It was at a practice.
He didn't argue with the guy. He didn't fight with the guy or nothing, but he went out there and broke his ankles the next play.
Yeah,
and then just stared at him. Like, D-Hop's that type of guy. Deontay Johnson, on the other hand, he's a nightmare. There's no secret why the Chiefs didn't go after that guy. 100%.
Yeah, but at the same time, if he would have came to this team, do you think they'd have allowed it to get to that point?
Do you really think the Ravens allowed it to get to that point? He's been there for 2 weeks and he's already refusing to go in the game when they ask him to go in. And crying.
What's the purpose of this? Like, what happened?
He's a moron.
But there has to be something behind that, though. Like, why was he refusing to go in the game? Like, what struck him the wrong way? Did he not even want to go to the Ravens? That's the thing. You go out here, and I get it. It's hard to say, don't take money, don't take money.
Well, he got traded.
But D-Hop would have never got here if not for a trade.
Right.
So if he would have been a free agent and it come back to that again, guess what? He would have took the money and went somewhere else. They never want to put themselves in good situations. They just want the money. And I know it's easy to sit here and say when you're not being offered it, it's easy to say you wouldn't do that. But at some point in your career, man, if you want to make a legacy playing football, it's not like these other teams are giving away like chump change here. Like, this is still life-altering money. This is like family-altering, generational wealth throughout this. If you don't live like an idiot.
Right.
So, but that's the thing. Like, he put himself in a situation, but he's been traded to 2 different places. He got traded to Carolina, right?
Exactly. That's my
So maybe
my
he's
point.
just not ended up where he wants to be. So
Like,
he's just angry.
When a guy is on a team like Carolina and he gets traded from that terrible situation to a competitive team like the Baltimore Ravens, and you still can't make him happy, he's just a pain in the ass, bro.
Steve, would you want to play with Lamar Jackson?
Dude, I wouldn't go cry about it, especially if I was just over there playing with Bryce Young. Like, that's the thing about it, man. Like, you just showed up there. I'm sorry, but if you're 2 or 3 weeks in, I can understand if you're a little upset about this or that, or you don't like the way this or that goes. But you don't even have a dog in the fight yet. You don't start talking trash and demanding
it's very
things.
weird. It's odd.
That's wild.
But I know a lot of people say that Andy wouldn't allow that to happen. And maybe not. But then again, if he was to come over here, like if he was on a limited snap count like D-Hop was, he probably would have threw a fit already. So who knows?
Dude. I don't know, man. We got another 2-bomb from KC Lions squad. Says D-Hop is more like Dwayne Bowe, in my opinion. Yeah, Debo was like one of those receivers, Mike. I feel like if he was in a different place back in the day or had a different situation, different quarterback, like Debo could have been wild.
Yeah. Debo was, he done a lot. Who was his quarterback primarily? Was it Alex Smith? That was late in his career.
I think he had
But he went through some stinkers, dude. Matt
he
Castle
went through the Palco. He went through the Stanzi. It was a lot of crap.
Yeah, Matt Castle might have been the guy that played with him the longest. Maybe not. He just went through. Dude, it was a quarterback carousel for Dwayne Bowe's entire career. Could you imagine if he would have been drafted to a team with a stable?
That's what I'm saying,
Mahomes. Man.
But yeah, you kind of get that vibe. But I mean, to be honest, the D-Hop's another tier from Debo, really. And it's just, I don't know. I think it's apparent when you watch the game. Greg Goodwin with the 2 says $11,800 for my car. Good/bad. I'm still hurt too. Yeah, that's the worst thing, man. That you got injured, Greg. Hoping it's not too bad and you can recover soon. But. Yeah, maybe the new car's a little bit of silver lining in a bad situation, I suppose.
Yeah, you know how it is. It's just a disruption. It don't matter what it is, but it sucks that you got hurt. I didn't know you got hurt.
Yeah. Valerie with the 5-bomb. She says, how many seasons have I begged for D-Hop? First of all, Valerie, thank you for the donation. And thank you for always donating on the back end. People don't even see it. Valerie just does it. She's awesome and very consistent. So we appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, you've been saying it. We've been saying it. A lot of people's been saying it was a good fit. And I do think it's a good fit. I think it's proven to be a good fit. And we're just like at the tip of the iceberg. Like they're just getting started, in my opinion. I feel like D-Hop kind of came in at a time when Patrick Mahomes wasn't at his normal self, at his normal
Right.
level of play. The offense is a little disheveled. Different things going on. And I feel like you just seen the tip of the iceberg with what we've seen yet. And to be honest, D Hop's been pretty damn productive already. And
Yeah.
it's been in very limited play. And I think it could get wild if everything starts clicking, bro.
Dude, he's already made a pretty big impact. And the Chiefs' offensive line looks like Swiss cheese. If you could get that, to be one of those government blocks of Velveeta, baby. You just get it looking solid, like that government cheese. Hey, D-Hop might go off. That's what I'm thinking. So
Yeah, I think it could be. And
let's
that's,
get it.
like I
Let's
said,
make it solid.
chain reaction, baby. Because if D Hop's going off, that means everybody else is going to get a piece of the pie,
Yeah.
too. Appreciate you, Valerie. And then we got Jacob with the 10 bomb. Let's go, baby. He says, if they're limiting D Hop to keep him healthy for the playoff run, I can fully get behind that. He's more valuable in the playoffs than maxing out reps in the season. I'd agree with that, Jacob. I think that's the only thing that makes sense. Like the whole trade thing, like the trade clause, like, oh, if he gets 60% of the snaps, they have to give up a fourth rounder instead of a fifth rounder. I don't care. And I don't think that anyone should care that much whether you get a fourth round or a fifth round, whichever one you lose. Who cares?
Yeah.
We still have 2 third-rounders, don't we? Or did we trade that away? I
You
don't
got
think we did.
you got the Titans pick for Snead.
So it's like I don't think that's a good enough reason to not get him involved. But if it is because he is, dealing with a knee injury the entire year,
Yeah.
he's an older guy. He's not.
Yeah, my
old,
thing
but
about
for
the giving
football-
up the fourth or the fifth could turn into a fourth. That's weird. Like I don't care if you have to give up a fourth round
Yeah, I
pick
don't
as
care
long as
either.
you don't. Like, what if you'd have been limited this whole time and losing these games? Like, I would much
Exactly.
rather just have the higher
Right.
seed and get into the
Correct, but
the
I am
three-peat
I'm
over
with
the-
Jacob. If they're doing it just because they want to make sure that he is ready and healthy for the playoffs, then I can get behind that a little bit.
I wonder in Brett Veach's history, what's his fourth round picks look like in comparison to his fifth round picks? I wonder which ones have made more of an impact. Because honestly, I feel like they've made about the same. I wouldn't say, a fourth and a fifth are pretty similar.
Well, the only ones off the top of my head I can think of, Joshua Williams is a fourth round pick, and you see what they're doing with him.
Yeah, they don't know what to do.
Let's see. Jared Wiley was a fourth round pick. You saw how they were using him early before he got hurt.
Right. Any fourth, fifth round picks probably not getting used much.
Fifth round picks. I mean, they spent one on Darian Kennard a while back.
He's gone.
Right. This year, I think it was Hunter Norzad. You don't hit like that really. But every once in a while you do. But I mean,
that's why the draft where we took Jalen Watson and Isaiah
That
Pacheco,
was a killer
even Najee to a certain degree, those were decent drafts. So you don't get that all the time. But yeah, finding a Pacheco in the 7th round, man, that may have been the hit of all hits, huh? But I think Jalen Watson's giving a little run for the money there.
I think all those guys, that was just a really good draft, man. That was a really good draft. Appreciate the 10, Jacob. And we got a 5 from Randall. Says, taking my son to the game this Sunday for our second Chiefs game. Our first game was the famous 13-second
Oh, yeah.
Chief versus Bills. in
Randall, don't bring that
2022.
13-second vibe to us.
No,
I mean,
bring
if
it.
we have to be in
Bring
that
it.
situation, I love it. But don't put that curse on us where we have to do this again.
I don't
Steve,
know.
a lot of people are picking the Chargers this week.
Yeah,
It's
of
that
course
mandatory
they
pick
are.
the Chargers week.
Of course they are. It's okay. I think, like Pop said early on, it's time to turn it on, show everybody a little glimpse of what they're about to get hit with. I think this is the week that you make a statement and you get people's attention, and it just is. Like you're playing a team that's a divisional game, a team that is playing a lot better than people expect them to. Like you said, people picking them to win against you.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think the Chiefs have been called frauds. They've been called everything else all year long. And us as Chiefs fans can sit here and say at 11-1, we're amazed that they're 11-1 right now. Like I feel like 8-4 would be fair the way they've played football. And there's just so much more left in the tank for this Chiefs team, and so much that people haven't seen. I think it's about time to start hitting that stride, man, because we're looking at 5 regular season games left. 5. which is wild.
It's wild, dude. This whole season, yeah, and 3 of them within 10 days.
Yeah, but
That's
hey,
crazy.
Randall, I hope you guys have fun. I hope you have a good
Have
time.
a great time, brother.
And hopefully it's an epic game, just like the first one you got to go to. That's a pretty good first game right there. You know what?
It's a great one.
It's great. Greg Goodwin with another 5 says, "Will we keep Brown and D-Hop next year?" Mike, what do you think about that?
I think Brown. Okay, look. So Brown took like kind of a sweetheart deal because nobody was opening up the pocketbook for him. They didn't think he had enough. Injury prone. Hey, we got him for cheap, but we seen why other teams didn't want him per se. But here's what I'll say. I think he will get back sooner than later. I think he's going to be back probably this month, hopefully. We'll see what happens there. I think Hollywood could get back next year. I think the Chiefs may want to re-sign him. He's probably not going to have a lot of offers outside. Even if he does get a lot of offers outside, it's going to have to be big, big money to move away because I think he sees that this is pivotal in his career now going forward. If you ever want that big contract, you've got to produce at least one big season. And he's been here. He's learned the playbook now for a year. I think this is his best spot. So I think he'll try to come back. D-Hop, on the other hand, he could leave. He could leave and just take as much money as he wants. But is he under contract? I'm not for sure. They didn't restructure anything with D-Hop.
I want to say he was on a 3-year deal with the Titans.
Right. So he may technically be under contract for us, right?
I'm not for sure. That's something I'd have to look into. I've never even really thought about that, to be quite honest.
I haven't either. I've not ever thought.
But either way,
always thought D-Hop was a rental.
Let's just assume that he's not coming back next year, right? Like, I don't know, man. I think that both of them very well could, and I don't think that either of them are going to garner enough money to really hurt you to keep them both. I think they'd be worth it.
No, it says that he actually 2024 he's making whatever, and it says in 2025 he is it's a voided unrestricted free agent money.
Okay,
so he'll hit the market. That's
fine, but here's another thing. Let's assume the best. The Chiefs complete the three-peat. And DeAndre Hopkins has a ring on his finger. Hollywood Brown has a ring on his finger. Does that change it for them to where like they can go seek money and not really care about being with the Chiefs? Or does that like kind of solidify like, hey, you're in the right place. You need to be here. Like, what do you think happens there?
I don't know. You know what's funny to me? We talked about the whole thing, and I know there's a lot of fans that'll come at you. They're like, it's easy for you guys talking about not taking the money, but normal people have to do that. What? D-Hop, do you want? Okay, look, he signed a 2-year, $26 million deal with the Titans. If you take that contract completely off the books, do you know how much DeAndre Hopkins has made in his career through earnings? This doesn't count sponsored deals. This doesn't count TV commercials. It doesn't count anything he's ever done. Autograph signings.
Right.
Nothing. If you take that $26 million off with the Titans because he just had to go to the Titans because they offered the best deal, the dude had over $115 million career earnings.
We've talked about this before, though. Like, it's really hard to go by that. As a normal person in this country, it's really hard to go by that because to us, it's like $115 million. That's ridiculous. That's enough for
it's insane.
That's enough for 115 lifetimes. But well, in today's economy, maybe like 50.
Three trips to Walmart.
Yeah. But the thing about it is, like, these guys live in a whole different universe.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of them
they're spending $10,000 and $15,000 on a jacket, bro. Like
yeah,
$10,000 on a pair of shoes.
They're putting all their money in their family too. They're like just trying to give it all away.
Yeah, everybody's vulturing off of them. It's like you got to be smart or you'll end up like that. Oh, what was his name? Delonte West or whatever, the basketball player.
He's like panhandling on the street.
Yeah, he's out there.
Well, that's my thing. I guess
up and washing car windshields.
At some point. And I feel like D-Hop would probably be that kind of guy. Like, I feel like you give to the people that helped you, supported you, your close family, but I don't feel like he's out here supporting just Johnny from high school that hit him up 3 times on Twitter or something. I don't know. It's just wild to me that these guys make over hundreds of millions, at a career. And then they're like, I had to take the Titans deal. Had to go to the Titans and play with Will Levis because
totally
they offered me
understand
$22 million.
But to answer the question, could they both be back? Absolutely. I don't think
it's
that's out of the
possible.
realm of possibility.
Unless they want the most money, and it's not going to come from us. We already know that story. We've seen the sequel.
Right, but I think we would give them a sufficient amount of money. I think we would give them a good contract.
You do? I don't think they'd give them over $7 or $8 million. That's just where we'll sit at a wide receiver.
Does Hollywood deserve more than that? Because that's what he got paid this year.
I thought you were talking about D-Hop.
What's D? I don't think D-Hop's gonna. I don't know. Like he's on the back.
He thought he was worth
$13
million per year.
Okay, cool. Well, now that he realizes, maybe I'm not. Maybe he takes 9. I don't know. We'll see.
But if DJ Humphries makes him look better, Steve, you already said he's going to look better. So now he is going to look like he's worth $13 million a year.
It's a possibility.
Maybe the Chiefs are playing the long game. They're playing the bad left tackle.
It'll be interesting to see. But for now, let's just focus on this season.
Yeah, that's what I say. Who cares about next year?
We have a three-peat to complete.
Let Brent Veach handle that.
Let's do it. Real quick, just want to appreciate everybody for being here. If you just came in, we were talking about DJ Humphries getting the start this week versus the Chargers. We'll recap that just a little bit here in a minute. Do us a favor, guys. Hit the like button for us. It helps us out tremendously. Also, you guys that have been donating so far, you guys are awesome. Thanks for supporting the channel. We're going to take a 30-second break. We'll be right back to talk more about some Chiefs. Christmas is right around the corner, and we've brought back the popular Merry Chiefsmas sweater and hoodie in the store. Just go to merch.allchiefedup.com and you can use the code ACUSANTA, that's ACUSANTA, and you can get 20% off of everything in the store until the end of the year. So get your hands on those and give some gifts to your family and friends. Go do it.
It's the time of giving, though. And before you take Steve-O's comment, it's a time of giving. So I wanted to do things for ACU crew that was giving. So what's the best way to give on this channel? It's to offer others memberships, right? Memberships. So everybody that throws out 5 memberships, $24.99, we've got these bad boys in hand, in stock. It's the All Chiefed Up tumbler, okay? We've got like 4 or 5 of these extras sent over, and they're in hand, ready to go. You don't have to order them from our online merch store, merch.allchiefedup.com. But these are in hand. Everybody that throws out a $24.99, which is 5 gifted, I'm going to go ahead and get your email. I'm going to get everything from you, and I'm going to send you out one of these, and you'll get these pretty quickly, actually, because they don't have to come from the distributor.
Well,
so, yeah, we got like 4 of these in stock. So if you give, we give. How about that?
Well, let's go, baby. Steve-O with the 2-bomb. And, Mike, it didn't take long to start hearing that train coming. Steve-O says, support ACU. Merry freaking Christmas. And he follows it up with 5 gifted memberships. Let's go, Steve-O.
That's a tumbler for Steve-O, baby. That's a tumbler for Steve-O.
Steve-O's
These are
going to
awesome.
be sipping his coffee out that tumbler within the next week or so.
I love it.
What about it? And then that wasn't enough. That wasn't enough. Our boy Justin Flanders says, here's 5 more gifted freaking memberships.
There we go, baby.
Let's go. You guys are awesome, by the way. Appreciate you. If you get one of those memberships, make sure to thank those boys in the chat.
You know what I'm going to stuff these tumblers with, too, because it's Christmas? I'm going to put some Christmas candies. Mike's going to cook you up a cookie.
You going to put a cookie in there?
A Mike's holiday cookie. Maybe a holiday brownie. Nothing in the brownies, no Blue Chew in it or nothing.
Hey, you guys are doing the Lord's work out there, Leo. We appreciate you. Thanks so much. But yeah, man, if you just came in, we were talking about DJ Humphries starting for the Chargers or against the Chargers this week. Hopefully not for the Chargers. That would be Wanye Morris.
If he starts for the Chargers.
Woo! Sorry, Wanye. But anyway.
Wanye catching strays out here at 11:36 a.m. in the morning. Sorry, Wanye.
But for real, DJ Humphrey getting his first look in there with the Chiefs. And what do you think, man? You think that if DJ makes Patrick Mahomes a little more comfortable, this Chiefs offense hits the level that everybody's been waiting for it to hit? We start scoring 30-plus every game, and then the defense gets a little bit of freaking rest, and they get back to normal.
Hey, I'm hoping from Steve's lips to God's ears, this is the way it works out. This is what I'm wanting. I want to see a nice defense performance, a nice special teams performance, and then let's have that offense come out and just fire it up. That's what I want to see. I want to see 40 points on the Chargers Will that happen? Probably not. We'll get to predictions in just a minute. But wouldn't you love to see it? This would be a great game
I
for
think
a
everybody would
breakout.
love to see it. Y'all let us know in the chat how you're feeling about DJ Humphries getting the start.
let's
And
go.
do you think that it's going to help this offense get to where we all think it could be at? I hear the train a-coming.
Oh,
It's rolling around the bend. And that's KY with 5 gifted memberships. Let's go, KY.
KY wanted some of
Appreciate
Mike's
you.
holiday Christmas cookies in the tumbler.
Mike,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know who the caboose was on the back end of that train there, baby? It's Chris Wright, our
Chris.
boy, with 5 gifted memberships.
Let's go, baby.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for helping grow the ACU crew. That's very important to
There
us.
goes all 4 tumblers that quickly.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's more where that came from.
There is
just
more.
letting y'all know. That's the deal for this episode, at least. So, Mike, if more have to be got, more have to be got.
Yeah, I like bringing these in. My family, everybody that I've seen wants this. Like they love these. I don't even think you can get these in the store. You
No, they're
can't
not
get
in the
this
store.
color and this shape and everything in the store. It's a different kind. So
Yeah, appreciate
this is
you
an
guys. though.
exclusive.
Thanks for the support, by the way. And
Appreciate
Chris
you guys.
Wright, been a member for 16 months. He's an OG. Chris Wright.
Chris.
He's been AWOL for a bit.
Chris, we were
Go
just
Chiefs.
talking about you. I want to say like yesterday.
It wasn't long ago. You were like, well, I wonder how Chris Wright.
Yeah, we were like, "What are Chris is doing?" I haven't seen him in a long time, man. It's been a while. But here
Yeah.
he
he's
comes,
a legend.
Steve.
He's a legend around the channel here, so I think most people know him.
We heard the Christmas bells, and Chris appeared. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. KY, Chris Wright, Justin Flanders, Steve-O. You guys are
Steve-O.
awesome. Thanks for that. Like I said, growing the memberships, like growing the ACU crew is pretty important. Like, and that's something that we want to focus more on at this channel. So, and then maybe the reason why is we want to be able to do more members only stuff and like maybe a couple live streams a month.
Yeah,
and
more live
be
streams,
able to-
more giveaways,
yeah,
more
just fun
interaction
stuff.
there.
Yep. Tobias with the 10 bomb. Let's go, baby. He says, Chiefs Kingdom, it's December. Time for the climb to immortality.
Yeah,
3
this is our time.
Let's go. It is. It's time to kick it into gear.
If DJ Humphries looks just crazy better, you know what I mean? Like if everything just kind of comes in and looks just so much better, does this put a little bit of fear in everybody and say, I mean, I know one guy that's going to be super fearful, but is there
It's
going to
be scary, brother.
Is there going to be like, is this going to just awaken the NFL and be like, these dudes are 11-1 and they look that bad and now they look like this?
This is happening. Do you really think, like really, honestly, and y'all let me know in the chat too, but Mike, you answer me. Do you really think that DJ Humphries could just be just the one little key that was missing? The one ingredient, like you forgot the salt. It just wasn't tasting right
Oh,
because you
yeah.
forgot the salt. Do you
Salt's
think
the
DJ
flavor.
Humphries the freaking salt?
You know, you're making taco for Taco Tuesday, you know, and you accidentally forget to put the powder in that makes it taste like tacos. So it just tastes like ground meat. Okay, it tastes like you're eating a hamburger on a taco shell. That's maybe what it is. That's maybe what it is. And look, this is me. Fingers, everything's crossed.
Are your toes crossed?
Toes are crossed. Everything's crossed right now. We're crossed up.
All right. Appreciate you, Tobias. Thanks for the 10. JCP, our boy, letting the boy watch. Look, he's letting the boy watch in the picture right there.
He is.
Let the boy watch.
That's awesome. He said, how will our secondary get fixed? Is it players getting their heads out of their ass or Spags getting extra horned? So I think both of those would be a great thing. But I honestly think the secondary gets fixed, per se, by the pass rush getting home. And that's what we had talked about last week a little bit, Mike, or maybe earlier this week. But I think Charles Omenihu coming back last week definitely put us in the right direction for that. You saw Chris Jones get home twice. George was getting more pressure. Charles was getting some pressure. I think just having him back, if he's effective, I think it helps the entire defensive line. And then if we could also get Uche finally involved some and he can start getting his footing here in Kansas City, I think that it becomes a whole different ballgame for these cornerbacks. Like they're not having to cover for 5 and 6 seconds anymore.
Right.
If
Steve
we can
Omenihu
eliminate that.
was big the other day.
Yeah.
Okay. This was his first game off of ACL surgery, And he actually had a 15.8 pass rush win rate the other day. That ranked 19th overall in the entire NFL for defensive ends. 19th on his first game back. Karlaftis, Mike Dana, neither one were even over 10%. Okay? So they're just struggling. Omenihu is going to have to be the guy. Omenihu has got to be the guy that turns his pass rush around. And you've seen Chris Jones get home. Karlaftis got home a little bit. We needed that. And I hate to beat a dead horse. But, Steve, I was saying all offseason, I feel like overlooking that defensive end spot and just settling on a Mike Dana. And I love Mike Dana. But we settled there to the very end of free agency and re-signed Dana back when he didn't get what he wanted on the open market. And it was never a key point of any kind of offseason thing. They just were going to trust Malik Herring, and they were going to trust Truman Jones and see what they had out of Felix. And it was a wait-and-see kind of game, and that's the same game they played with the left tackle, and it's kind of backfired. Luckily, Omenihu was the offseason. He was the trade deadline acquisition by all means there. Like, he was the DJ Humphries, and I'm glad that worked out, but we needed that kick in the ass on the pass rush. And I think that's something going forward we got to start looking at a little bit. We need to start getting more juice on the defensive line.
Boy, wouldn't it have been nice if somebody would have been watching ACU a few years ago and been like, you know what, we should draft that Nick Bonito.
Dude, Nick Bonito. And I went back yesterday and I looked just a few drafts ago, Steve. One of the interior defensive line that we're talking about, and yes, we've had Turk Wharton kind of come out of nowhere this year, but Derek Notty's kind of been blah. Mike Pinnell's not looked as good this year as he has. He started the season off. He's getting a little older. I think he'll kick it in later. But we've always needed that extra guy in the middle there. And do you remember a guy named Jervon Dexter that you loved?
Yeah.
We wanted him here so bad.
He's killing it, bro.
And he's having a great season and a great, first few years of his career over there in Chicago. So
he's very Chris Jonesy.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like we got to start investing in that defensive line just a little bit more, in my opinion.
So what you're saying is they need to start listening to us about who they draft on the defensive line, and we've already decided that you
and
need
maybe
to have
receiver too.
Yeah, I already said we already decided that you should get a say in receiver. So I think this next coming off season, when we make our annual trip to St. Joe,
yeah,
I think that we need to have that pizza lunch with Mr. Veach. And we need to be like, look, brother. So here's
it's going to be too late, though. We'll have already drafted by then.
Yeah, true.
We got to make an exclusive
just call
trip out like in March.
Just call them.
Maybe we'll meet them. We'll get them to come up to Indy for the combine.
We can cut out the clips of the show where we're like, we need to draft this guy. Be like, see, and here's who you got.
Don't do that, though.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't.
Because you may.
I would never do that to
have
Brett
a bunch
Veach.
of stinks in there.
Yeah, there probably are some bad ones, but you know what? We don't have to clip those. He don't have to know about that.
Don't clip the stinks.
He can't get mad at us for having hoping Sky Moore would do well because he drafted him.
Yeah, look, Brett Veach ain't got to get on here and talk for 10 hours a week. So he just appears, I'd like to appear.
Hey, appreciate the 5, JCP.
Appreciate you,
and
man.
Sam Lofton with the 10 bomb says, oh, love the cups.
Love them cups.
They are pretty snazzy. Appreciate the 10, Sam.
They're pretty sweet. It's very possible, though, we're going to get a lot more of these. And I know I have another one, too, that's just, it's a taller one, and it's silver. Actually, you can see it. If you look right above me to the left, you see that skull that holds a plant? Right to the left of it is this.
The skull that holds a plant?
Yeah, somebody bought.
Oh, you mean
it's a skull that holds a plant.
It's our right.
Yeah, so you're right. So if you look up on right above the Chiefs flag, you can see it. It's one of those
here,
tall tumblers.
But on Mike's screen.
Yeah, it's right here.
It's a tall tumbler.
It's a tall silver tumbler. It says all chiefed up the same way. But that's the only one of that one, so I didn't bring it over here. I didn't want to get people too fired up over that one because I only have one of them.
Casey Lion Squad said, y'all could be honorary scouts. What do you think would let's be serious here, because obviously we're not like NFL scouts. We're not on the same level as them. We don't know that.
No, we do it. Like we put a lot of time into it, like way too much time, but it don't mean anything.
Exactly. Like we're just two guys that like football.
Yeah, nobody's going to listen anyway.
But let's say what if they gave you that, what if you got to pick, Mike? What if you were the one that got to pick the entire draft? What do you think you would do in the draft? Do you think you would have a 2021 draft like Brett Veach did?
No, I already know what I'd do. I can answer this easily. No matter who I picked, I'm putting the curse on. I would have the biggest crap draft in the history. You could give me the number 1 pick, and I would almost have to pull an Eric Fisher.
I don't know what that means.
Well, because Eric Fisher was serviceable, but that was one of the weakest draft classes we ever had when we were number 1. Like, there was hardly anybody. Do you remember they were deciding between Eric Fisher and Luke Jokel? Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I do.
That cat stunk out of it. I think it was A&M. Dude, there just wasn't anything there. So the one year that we actually had the number 1 overall pick, like, there was really no, like, life-changing players in that draft. There wasn't, like, a Mahomes. If there was, we didn't find him. But, yeah, I would end up just... Dude, I could have all the knowledge in the world, and I'd accidentally screw it up. I would just screw it. I'd wet the bed right there.
No matter... You know what would happen is you would write Nick Benito on the card, and by the time it got up there to the stage, it would be someone random, and you'd be like, come on!
They'd say, who's Nicholas Bonto out of Alcorn State?
Joshua Kando!
Joshua Kando? He redrafted Joshua Kando. Congratulations.
You know that's what would happen. You get trumped.
Dude, I would just never show my face again.
Would you quit your job after that?
I mean, Brett Veach drafted him, and he's still here, so it's something.
Jacob with another 2. Appreciate you, Jacob. He says, Uche is a mystery so far. There's been a lot of mysteries this year. The Cam Thomas debacle. That was a mystery.
It's a defensive end mystery, isn't it?
It is. Uche is kind of a mystery. He hasn't got a whole lot of snaps.
I think Uche will be fine.
I do, too.
I really do.
I think it's just going to take a little bit of time. Not for any real reason other than just get comfortable. Time. But I mean, this is a guy that can just pin his ears back and rush the passer, right? So it shouldn't be that difficult. It shouldn't really matter if that's what he's put in to do. That's what he does. But he did spend an entire year last year with the New England Patriots where they were playing from behind all the time and teams were running the ball. So, I mean, he might be just a tad bit out of practice on the pass rush.
You may see Uche actually start coming on if the Chiefs start putting more points on the board.
Yes.
Get these guys playing catch up a little bit. Now Uche maybe gets to pin his ears back and go. So we've just not been in that situation. Uche's actually done, I want to say 40 snaps, somewhere around that, but he's done like 10 of them in pass coverage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if we needed him to be CB2. We needed somebody to go get the passer. So
JCP says when they asked Spags about Uche, he seemed very unimpressed.
Dude, Spags, yeah, he's been very hush-hush a lot of the times. Like, he acted like that way the other day with Josh Williams. Remember, we were like, what is the deal with this guy? Like, is he going around, like, kicking people in the shin in private?
You think that Northeast gangster is coming out?
You think Uche walks around with, like, a whoopee cushion and, like, gets people with, like, lame fart jokes and they don't like him? They're like, God, why did we get this guy?
Spags, he said, Give me the keys to the car. He said,
give me the car keys and get out of here.
We're going to have to whack him. Okay?
What? Don't be whacking nobody.
Man, I don't know, man. It has been a mystery with Uche, but I think he'll be okay. I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine.
I do think I think you kind of just hit on something that we haven't really discussed. And I think that's like, it seems like every time you have like an observation, there's another one that goes hand in hand with it. And we've talked about how the cornerback play could be enhanced by the pass rush. But then you just made a really good point. If this offense could play up to their standard and put points on the board and play in front of other teams, our pass rush would probably have a lot better chance of getting home because they can pin their ears back and go. They're not on their heels.
Do you feel like Uche's even a guy that Spags just don't like? Think about it. Uche is the little guy that's not going to set the edge very well. Those are just not Spags types of defensive ends. We've seen the Chiefs try to get more out of the Spags-esque looking defensive ends, but who's really worked? I don't think so. Like Charles Omenihu, look what he does, and he's a stereotypical Spags defensive end. He'll set the edge, and he can kick down in. Like Spags just don't like defensive ends that can't like kick down into the interior and do things like that and set the edge.
You know, it's weird though because kind of the way Spags uses the defensive ends, which I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, he likes guys that can drop back into coverage. He likes to do that a lot.
Uche's done that a few times.
Right. So a lot of those guys that are faster and they're a little bit better.
Steve, he don't care if you can do it. You're just going to do it. George Karlaftis' slow ass has been out there covering
Hey,
people.
George Karlaftis will get a hand on that ball, okay? You got to watch him.
I love George, but he ain't no DB.
No, I think he is in disguise.
Well, let's put George at CB2, huh? Would you rather have George Karlaftis or would you rather have Najee Johnson? I don't like the Najee hate. Like, I'm still a Najee fan.
Yeah.
You just avoided it. You just pulled a Spags. You said,
That's a subject changer, as JCP would say. Scott TG says, how do I get to the area to gift memberships? I keep getting them even though I have been trying to pay for the membership. So the best way, guys, if you get gifted a membership and you would like to keep being a member, just go set up the subscription.
Yeah, there's a way to set up a subscription and then they'll just redo it so you ain't got to do it automatically.
So you ain't gonna miss that $5 either. Let me tell you, I got a car wash that takes $20 a month for me. I got a gym that I haven't been to in 2 years. It takes $25 a month for me, and I didn't even know.
I got the same thing. I just thought yesterday, I was like, dude, it's too cold. I like to walk. I just like to go walking and stuff, listen to audiobooks and things. And I was like, it is balls cold out here. And then I was like,
cold,
oh, yeah, I've had
today.
a membership for 6 years, 2 miles up the road. I haven't went once.
You could went in the warmth and been
I
on
could
the
have been
treadmill.
investing that in Bitcoin. Okay.
But anyway, to get to that,
Daggone.
I think there's like a little money symbol down there, right? I'm not too savvy with it. But I think there's a money symbol down there in the chat, and you click that money symbol, and it should allow you to
gift.
It's a super sticker, super chat when I do it.
You have to be a member to gift.
You got to be a member.
Yeah, you have to be a member yourself to gift, I believe.
Yeah.
So Steve's not a member.
Hey, later, Chiefer. We appreciate you, by the way. Thanks to all of our mods, by the way.
Mods do the Lord's work.
We don't say it enough, but they do the Lord's work. They do a great job, and they're great people, great supporters of the channel, and great Chiefs fans. So shout out to our mods, except for Julia. She likes to make fun of my hoodie.
Yeah, Julia's a different breed. Doug said his lad McConkey. Oh, McConkey. Hey, Steve, we're going to have a McConkey versus McDuffie matchup this week.
Ooh.
The battle of the Mick. If
Scottish versus Irish.
They should have McDonald's. Be McConkey versus McDuffie in a McDonald's battle. They brought back the McRib, by the way, on a different subject, Steve. But let's see. Let me take off Doug's thing here. Let's see if McConkey's on the injury report. Why can't Doug's comment leave? There it is. McConkey is. So knee, shoulder, but he's been limited. He's going to play. Okay. He's been limited. He's going to play. Now, the thing about McConkey is he's been a beast. Last game, McConkey had 117 of the Chargers' 150 net passing yards against the Falcons. The team had 187 total yards of offense, and McConkey had 62.5% of it. Okay? So they are going to use McConkey. McDuffie's going to have a matchup and a half.
Yeah. Brandon Chester says he's had 4 100-yard games. Ladd is going to hit over 1,000 yards. Will Worthy end up being a better player than McConkey? We'll see. What do you think, Mike? Do you think ultimately that Xavier Worthy will be better receiver in this league than Ladd McConkey? Because we had this discussion before the draft. Ladd McConkey was the plug-and-play guy. We knew that if you wanted somebody to come in and instantly give you production, it was Ladd McConkey. He was the best route runner in the draft. He was the smartest route runner in the draft. He was fast, got good hands. But there were some injury concerns. But do you think overall, after the development of Xavier Worthy, do you think he'll end up being better than McConkey?
I don't know. I mean, he could be this year if Mahomes would hit him in stride. They had a little bit of connection, but when I watched Xavier Worthy play this year, he's not been overly productive, but there's a couple things work against that. Number one, the offensive line's been bad. Mahomes, the whole connection's been off. It's just been a tick off too. But every rep I watch, Xavier Worthy is open. Even last week when they took the deep shot and he threw it up and they kind of missed there on that 4th down, Xavier Worthy was 3 yards open, 5 yards open, 7 yards open by the time that Mahomes threw the ball. So it was like, this cat can flat out get open. And I think he's a little more physical than people thought too. He may be tougher to, if you can beat him off the line, like things like that. But I mean, he tried to lower his shoulder and knock somebody out last week. Like, what's this guy doing?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know what they're doing out there. But I think that Xavier Worthy could get there. I think they're a lot different type of player, so it's going to be kind of hard. It's apples and oranges, right?
I guess.
Man, I gotta do something about these Tony Starks.
I heard that.
Look, guys, I decided I was Iron Man, and I got glasses.
This
that
dude
has-
got Tony Stark glasses.
Look, my glasses have a built-in AI, so I'm just talking to whoever, John Cena or whoever I want to be talking to me. Okay, and I'm telling them what to do all the time, and they're doing my bidding.
I hear him talking. I keep thinking my phone's on or something.
No, that was whoever is Kristen Bell or somebody letting me know that I had a text message.
Kristen Bell lets you know about your text message?
Yeah, she does, and it's pretty cool, you know. So I'm eventually I'm gonna have a suit too, just become a superhero. I think it comes with the territory.
I don't understand. I don't understand your life right now.
What? I don't either, but it's cool though. It's not bad. I can't complain. But yeah, appreciate you guys being here today. You guys are awesome. You guys went crazy on the sub trains. You guys are amazing, by the way. Thanks for helping support
that was
the channel
amazing.
and growing the ACU crew. Don't forget to email Mike at allchiefedup@gmail.com and let him know your shipping address. That way he can send you out your tumbler.
Dude, we
you're
had hold up. Yeah. Whatever you were gonna say. You were gonna say I'm gonna ship the tumbler, and I appreciate that. But I was gonna say, listen to this. Pops with 5 gifted. Okay. Steve-O 5 gifted. Justin Flanders 5 gifted. KY 5 gifted. Chris Wright 5 gifted. That's like 100 people. How much is it?
100 people.
It's like 25 gifted. Okay. That's a lot.
Your math's not mathing.
It's
bro.
too early for me to actually think.
That's
Okay.
100 people, bro.
It's like 100 people. Tongue in cheek. 25 though? That's
real
a
quick,
lot. That's fun.
I'm gonna take a couple more from the chat real quick before we head out. But Rick Martinez says, "Do you think quicker routes would help the offense get it cooking?"
Yes.
Mike, absolutely, 100%.
They kind of did that coming out versus the Panthers, and then they didn't do it versus the Raiders.
How do you think that Rashee Rice was just slaughtering the entire NFL before he got hurt? Quick routes.
Rashee Rice was the man.
Right, we can do the same thing with D-Hop. You could quick route over to Xavier. There's lots of different
I will
things.
say
we
in
could do.
short space, I bet D-Hop's not as quick as Rashee Rice, though.
He's not, but he's got better hands.
Why can't you use Worthy of the slot and let him run those little quick? Like, why couldn't you use Worthy the way the Patriots used Wes Welker? The way we kind of wanted them to try Sky Moore, and they just refused to do it. They wouldn't do it. Isn't that odd?
Right.
We don't have that. That little
It is
bail-out
weird.
slot guy that you can just pepper.
They never use him, and then like even Sky Moore, his sorry ass could have benefited from that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But they
I
just
mean,
wouldn't do it.
Yeah, my
so-
thing is, if you throw to a guy 10 times, like, there's no way he's dropping all 10.
No,
If there was anybody to do it,
Kadarius Toney.
yeah, KT, and then Sky. That would have been my two. That'd have been my two guesses as to who could have dropped all 10 balls in a row.
Yep. Once again, appreciate you guys being here. Do us a favor. Hit the like button on the way out here if you haven't already. If you've not subscribed to the channel yet, we would appreciate that too. If you're a Chiefs fan, you should be subscribed because you're going to get all the Chiefs content here. We're trying to get to 50,000 subscribers. That was a goal that everyone set for us before the Super Bowl. And it's looking a little bleak right now,
Looking
Mike.
bleak.
It's going to be tough, man.
YouTube's done some stuff different on their back end, so we're trying to relearn.
Yeah, it's an
apparently they're-
ever-changing
look,
thing here.
Yeah, they're not sending out a lot of. They've never did this, Steve. YouTube has never sent out our subscribers alerts. It's just never in the history of the world. We have
Sometimes
heard that
they
about
do.
5 billion times. I'm a subscriber. I don't get an alert when you're live. Let us
Right.
know also, by the way, do you guys like these mornings? This is something we picked up over the past few weeks, and because it's fit our schedules a little better. Steve does a lot of his working at night, so this has been fitting our schedule a little better. Now, it's prevented some of the things we've been wanting to do. We've been wanting to bring you guys more long-form content, videos, maybe even more shorts, but it's just not been able to line up. At the season and everything in our schedules have not lined up. But this is one thing we come up with that we thought you guys would be interested in. And if you're interested in it, let us know. We'll keep doing it. If you hate it, I don't know. Throw up a middle finger
Spread
in
the word.
chat.
Spread the word to the YouTube community, the Chiefs community. Like, if you want a daily show, just in the mornings, if you don't like working, you'd rather just listen to Chiefs talk, throw an earbud in and escape your reality, Like,
Steve, one more before we head out of here, though.
Okay.
Ray says, Mike and Steve, according to Dominique Foxworth, the greatest corner to ever live, the Chiefs are one and done. What's your thoughts? Slapnut.
I think he's got a woman's name. That's what I think.
You know what I think about it?
What?
Suck it! Suck it! We got 2 words for you! Suck it!
Absolutely. Love you guys. Have a good day. And go Chiefs. Mike, you know what we didn't do, though?
We didn't give our predictions.
Should we do it right now?
Quickly. Give me your score. You want me to go first? I already got my score.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go 26-20 Chiefs, and I'm giving the MVP to Kelsey. I think Kelsey gets to the end zone this week and maybe gets to 100.
I'm going to go 30-24 Chiefs. And I think that the offensive game ball is going to go to DJ Humphries, who doesn't allow a sack. Okay, and he brings the offense alive, and we score 30 points. Okay.
What? Can we get one defender? One defender is going to look good this week.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm going on Menahue, baby. He was making us look good last week. I think he continues to do it, and he gets home himself.
Daggone, you took mine. Okay, I'll say it, since Menahue is just making it happen, I'm going to go with George. I say George will get home again this week.
Oh, Georgie Porgy.
Georgie Porgy, pudding and pie.
All right, guys. We'll catch you next time. Go Chiefs.
See you guys.
There was a sight from my soul.